Hey everyone, it's Deb from Locked Up in History and the National Crime and Justice Museum here at the Geelong Jail. Today I'm sitting down in one of the cells, and it's the cells where we tell the story about Clark and Farrell, who escaped from here in 1889. Both were in their 60s at the time they did, and they were pretty cluey for their ages. They actually made a skeleton key to get out. But I want to talk about Christy Farrell, and the reason is that he represents a particular group of convicts that a lot of people may not know about. So this is Christy Farrell here behind me. So Christy Farrell arrived in Australia aboard the Marion, and he was one of a group of convicts that were known as the Exiles. So if you know a little bit about Australian criminal history, you'll know that Victoria never actually had any convicts arrive directly to Victoria. What they had is they had exiles. Now, exiles were men who had served about 18 months in England, so one of the big prisons like Pentonville or Millbank. And then when they arrived here in Australia, they would be given a conditional pardon. And the idea was that these men would be able to make up the shortfall for labourers, especially for the farmers. Problem being, a lot of these men were from the cities, so they didn't actually have a lot of labouring skills. And this is also around the time of the Victorian gold rush. Now, Victoria actually had a law that prevented the entry of convicts into Victoria. They had to couldn't come here. They had to explain why they were going to be here. So there was actually a physical law that we could use to get rid of them again. Now, Farrell, as I said, was one of about 5,500 men. The last ship that came in was called the Randolph. And when it rounded Cape Otway and the message came through to Melbourne that the ship was coming, they offered the captain a sum of money to continue to keep going. He then went up to Sydney, and apparently the same thing happened, and the convicts didn't get off the ship until they got to Moreton Bay up in Brisbane. And that was the last ship of the Exiles that came here to Australia. So it's just a little group, and it's another sort of interesting part of history that if you don't quite know what an exile is, that's what they were. Hope you enjoyed this, and I'll talk soon. Bye.